It's time to stop tying my do-rag so tight. It's time to stop sleeping with my head on the side. It's time. The braids were so clean it had folks guessing what was real underneath, but it's time. After many days, I can't wait to get out these braids. So now it's time. And it's not that I dislike the design. Cornrows are useful, box braids are beautiful, and you can't go wrong with a 2-strand twist, but I miss when they were loose. Even when they try to eat my food or drink my juice. Yeah, no, it's not for you. Get back. It's time to get back to the classic look. Head banging, getting lit whenever they get shook. It's time to let the locks free. What a relief. I could finally start scratching. You would have thought my brain was bongos by the way I kept on patting, so now it's time for a quick length check. They've been growing for 6 years and they're finally past my neck. This is all my real hair. I didn't skip any steps. No shade to extensions. I just had to mention that I went through an ugly phase. Never been an ugly face, but when I first got locked, I was a little bit phased. Each lock was the size of an insect. And with the fro barely an inch tall, what more could I expect? I didn't know it then, but that was truly a blessing. Because throughout my lock journey, I've learned 5 important lessons. 1, just because it's low maintenance doesn't mean you can be careless. Wash your scalp monthly, or you might end up hairless. 2, you'll get the same result if you braid too much, so only braid your hair once every 2 months. 3, when you first get locked, it might feel unusual, but it takes years of consistent effort to create something beautiful. 4, everybody's hair grows at a different pace. It's called a lock journey, not a lock race. And 5, don't let just anybody touch it. If it's available for everybody, then nobody will love it. Allowing my crown to grow has helped me grow as a person. And if you're thinking about starting locks, trust me, it's worth it. And I'm not saying that it's perfect. Someone might confuse you for another person. If your dad is African, it might make him nervous. And some people prejudge you before they even know your purpose. So that's why I play the game. Tight twist on my tender head brings the pain. Patting instead of scratching drives me insane, but controlling these wild locks will keep me paid. But for this brief moment, I'm letting them out the cage. One of the few ways I show up as the fullest version of me. The version that the real ones see, and the fake ones couldn't fathom. Loose locks got them shook when they can't grow enough hair to even have them. I start laughing when my articulation catches them off guard. It's hard to imagine the book not matching the cover. All locks are beautiful, no matter the color, no matter the length. It takes strength to wear this crown, so I'm going to wear it proud, with no braids tying them down. It's time.
I'm Dime. Because even in the dark, she be shining, showing me her many phases with ease, willing to please and be pleased. She be my moon mommy.
And you are watching The Spotlight on Cluster TV.
Welcome back to another episode of The Spotlight. You have just heard Jerome Boateng, our wonderful host, and I am your co-host. Well, today I'm your host. He's your co-host. Well, he's your guest. Words. I'm Dime. This is The Spotlight, and you just heard Jerome. How you doing?
Hello, I'm doing well. Nice to talk to you, Don.
Nice to talk to you too.
You know, I just got done with a piece about my locks, but look at your locks.
All
oh my goodness. Like,
Thank
I know
you.
I'm happy to be out my braids, but your braids are looking stunning, I gotta say.
Thank you. We'll see how long I keep them in, because it got 1 or 2 days. Max.
1 or 2 days?
Yes.
When'd you get them?
Today.
Okay.
I did them for this.
Word. I'm glad you did it for today. You know what? I'm kind of, doing the thing that I've been accused of, because I'm not going to lie. Someone told me that you think that I'm not the best interview.
I don't know if I said you're not the best interview, because I do enjoy interviewing you.
Mm-hmm.
You do have a tendency, because you also interview, of interviewing the interviewer.
Case in point,
well.
I asked you how you were.
Yeah.
I asked you a question to start it off, and I'm the
that's
guest.
Why I was like co-host, but then I was like guest, because it's like it's both.
Okay, well, look, I will do a good job
Okay.
of being the proper guest. I will.
Fuck proper.
Fuck proper?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna be whatever guest I want to be.
Exactly.
It's my show. It's
Period.
all me right
We
here.
all here
But
'cause of him.
you're asking me the question, so
Yes.
I'm gonna let you ask the question.
First question.
Mhm.
How long do you keep a retwist in?
Ooh, okay. So usually I try to keep my retwist in for at least a month, especially when I go to like a stylist to get them done.
Okay.
Because
get
the
your money's worth.
stylists, they usually are able to, make sure they're able to last really long.
Yeah.
When I do it myself though, because I do retwist my own hair occasionally, I usually only keep that in for like about a week or so because honestly, I don't twist them in as tight as the people that know what they're doing.
Yeah.
They're gonna look good for like a day or two, but after a week, it's gonna look like I never even retwisted them at all. So those go pretty quickly.
Yeah.
But whenever I get them stylized, I tend to just kind of like let them in for like a month, and then by the time I untwist it, now you get these little strands. They look like little kind of twisty strands.
I love when mine look like that.
Yeah, that's like the beautiful sweet spot right there.
Yeah.
Because it's like free flowing, so you don't have to like, do all the things you gotta do when you have them braided, but they still look stylized to some extent. So, I keep them about a month or so. And I try to really like, let my locks kind of sit. I usually don't braid them like too often because I want people to be used to me like, not being the most kept up because you can't always have it in a cornrow or like twist and whatnot.
That's true.
Yeah, not until I start making some real money. But even then, I'm kind of want to be like on J. Cole type of timing,
Yes, I've been embracing my inner J. Cole
Mm-hmm.
in that respect. It feels more freeing mentally
Mm-hmm.
because it's like, who cares what you guys think?
Yeah,
I am put together. And even if I'm not, what you gonna say about it?
exactly. Because look, the beautiful thing about having locks is even when they look bad, they still look good.
Mm-hmm.
So they're never gonna be looking bad. And even when it's been like a whole month, even 2 months since I've retwisted, as long as I get a consistent haircut, like I'm still pretty good to go for real.
Mm-hmm. I like that. I like that you wrote a poem about it. Because a lot of your poems are like it came from a thought, like something that you're really going through.
Listen, I remember the day I started writing it. It was when it was these cornrows and they looked really good, but they had like all the hair was kind of in like a ball, like right here in the back of my head. So whenever I went to sleep, I had to sleep with my head tilted toward the side because if I tried to lay on the back of my head,
that would hurt.
It would you would just feel the big ball of hair.
Mm-hmm.
So I was so happy when I finally I was just like one day I got home and I was just like, nah, I'm getting up out of these retwists. Mm-hmm. And I started just thinking, yo, it's time. Mm-hmm. And I was just like, dang, I really feel strong about this. I need to go ahead and start writing it down. And sure enough, that's when it became like a whole poem.
I like that. Like we said, they start from a thought.
Yes.
Do you write them to be relatable, or is it selfish? Like, I'm going through this, so I'm gonna write it down.
It's most so I'm going through it and I'm gonna write it down. A lot of times whenever I go through things like, that's really the best outlet for me so I can express, how I'm feeling during that situation. What I've found is that people in general, when you write, you relate more to other people than you think. Because I remember there was like one piece that I wrote and it was just, a really downer piece. Like I was just like, I'm not sure if people really want to hear this from me. But then I just decided to spit it and people just instantly like, was just like, yo, like I felt that piece in my soul. Mm-hmm. And it was even one piece that I wrote about the New York Jets. That's my favorite football team.
Okay.
And
I recall.
In the poetry community, it's not really a community that is huge on sports, right? So when I spit it, I was just like, there's probably only going to be like, one person that ever understands what I'm going through as a Jets fan or ever gets it. But every time I spit that piece, every sports fan, whether it's a basketball fan, football, baseball, they're like, yo, bro, I'm a Dallas Cowboys fan and I completely understand what you're going through. So I think it's really just personal experiences that I write down. And what I found out is that people relate to each other in more ways than you might think. We're all human beings, so we all go through a lot of the same type of things and have a lot of the same emotions.
Yeah. Wow. You've been writing for about 2.5 years.
Yes. Right? Yes. My first poem was January 2024. January 1st, 2024.
Wow. Time really flies.
So fast.
Oh, Lord. How did you get these feelings out prior to writing and performing?
I don't really think there was an outlet for real. I mean, I probably granted, I talked more so about sports because I started off mainly as someone who wanted to get big into the sports media world, right? So I really didn't talk too much as an outlet. Maybe I'd talk to loved ones or people close to me, but there really wasn't many ways that I would actually give an outlet to the emotions that I had. And that was one of the big reasons why I started writing, is because coming into 2024, I set it was a New Year's resolution. And I set the resolution to really improve my mental health. I had already improved my physical health in 2023. So I was like, this year, I want to try to improve my mental health. And one of the ways I wanted to do it was to start journaling more often. Okay. So I started journaling, and, I had been going to poetry shows for 3 months at that point. So I was like, it might be good to actually write down a poem. And I set the intention hey, I'm going to do 3 open mic performances.
Surpassed that.
Yeah, surpassed it by February. Mm-hmm. So, that was really why I started writing. And because before then, I just didn't have any type of outlet at all for my emotions.
Okay. Wow. I love that it almost found you, because you found poetry by looking for it for somebody else.
Literally.
Yes.
Yes. So the very first poetry show I ever went to, right? My friend, she asked me, she was like, hey, you want to go to a poetry slam? And I was like, yeah, I'll go to a poetry slam. But she didn't really look for it. I was tasked with looking for it, or I guess I tasked myself with looking for it. Mm-hmm. And the first time I went there, I was like, I just wanted to go by myself because Eventbrite had burned me before. Mm-hmm. And I didn't want to buy a ticket and then be left in an abandoned lot somewhere.
Yeah, no. So there's too many of those in Atlanta.
Exactly. Exactly. And the last time that happened to me, I wasn't able to contact the person who did the event. I just lost $15. Damn. So I was just like, before I do this with a friend, I'm going to go ahead and vet this place out beforehand. Mm-hmm. And, ended up falling in love with it. My first poetry show was The Circle. Saw a whole bunch of great artists that I never would have had the chance to see anywhere else. Yeah. And, that was really the start of it. I found it because because one of my friends just said, hey, a poetry slam sounds fun. Ironically, we never really went to a poetry show together. I was
going to say, did you ever end up taking them?
Never actually ended up taking them to a poetry show.
That's so funny.
We ended up running into each other at a poetry show one time. Yes.
That is actually really crazy.
Mm-hmm.
You were sent on a mission to find yourself, basically. And they were just the catalyst.
Yep, they were just the catalyst to me really finding, one of my true loves.
That is crazy. Well, can we preface your next piece?
My next piece? Well, I have a question for you, Dime. Have you ever been to jail before?
No.
Okay, that's good. That's good.
Almost.
Almost. Okay. Anyone in this room at all? Has anyone in this room ever been to jail at all? Okay, so we got one hand in the background, okay? Well, before we get to hear this next piece, I want to give a quick shout out to Wit Media, the creative director and videographer for the Spotlight. If you need your vision to come to life, he can make it happen. So make sure you hit up Wit Media. Now, let's get to the poem. My man, I asked you a question earlier if you've been arrested, and you raised your hand. Now, my next question for you is, have you ever been arrested for burning an incense? Well, before that moment, I was pristine and innocent. Since I was 12, the only cops I knew were on TV. Friendly faces, shiny badges, teaching us just say no at the DARE assembly. Growing up, the thought of jail never crossed my mind. I was a con kid from Marietta, so I never saw the signs. Through adolescence, the thought of jail stayed foreign. Until I went to college, then that image started warping. Benedict College, South Carolina, my HBCU. It was there where the facade of the boys in blue began to fall through. What was once painted in the crisp lines of red, white, and blue began to blur as their true colors came into view. My classmates would yell, "Yuck, 12" with their entire chest. And that's the censored version of the word. The real one starts with an F. And I was appalled, and I even stalled at joining their cause because I could never disrespect authority. The police protect and serve. If we just show them love, won't they stop harming minorities? Fast forward spring 2018, my junior year. I walked into my dorm room, told my roommate, "It's stinking here." We had some air freshener, but it was already sprayed, so I told him to burn an incense to take the smell away. With it no longer smelling musty, I can finally lay my head down, because I got to go to work in 6 hours, so I got to go to bed now. My roommate leaves to go to the bathroom, and as I lay my head down, I hear a loud boom. 2 policemen kick my door open and walk into my room. First cop says, "What y'all doing in here?" Chilling? How does that make me the villain? I thought y'all only antagonized the bad people. He says, "There's smoke coming from the outside. What are you guys smoking?" "We're burning an incense." See, I thought the truth would be enough, but things just kept getting more intense. The second cop says, "Hey, you know they be smoking when they burn those incense." Sir, we did not smoke. I walked in the room. It was smelling bad, so I told my roommate to burn an incense. I still thought the truth would be enough. But when my roommate walked in and told him that he's the one that burned it, they put him in handcuffs. Seeing this injustice firsthand, I replied, "Yo, that ain't right. What's wrong with you?" He looked at me and said, "Well, since you think that's so wrong, I'm going to put you in handcuffs too." Escorted out of my room, taking the walk of shame. This is beyond lame, but I had to refrain from showing my true temper. Because showing aggression while getting arrested could lead you to being another lesson in police brutality. So my mentality was to wait, let them decide my fate. I didn't do anything wrong. How long could this take? An hour went by, and now I'm barely awake. I lay my head down on the table, and the door finally opens. But the cop, he didn't say what I was hoping. "All right, boys, get up. We're taking you guys to county." County? Well, what's county? Richland County Jail. That's where you're going to be spending the night. They put us in the police car. Our long legs had us packed in tight. It felt like we were vacuum sealed, and when we finally made it to the station, that's when I knew this was real. Fingerprints taken, mugshot taken, my phone dead, and my mom's phone number is the only one I knew in my head. But I can't call her to explain this situation, so once again, I'm waiting. As an old head's passing me wisdom. As tired as I was, I didn't want to dismiss him, so I listened and fed on his food for thought, because it was 10 times better than the food that the jail bought. They walked us in the courtroom to give us our sentences. We got charged with disturbing schools for burning an incense. But what's so disturbing about that? I find it more disturbing that you can get a rap sheet for trying to get a moment of peace before bedtime. And now it's past 5 and I'm late for work, in jail signing paperwork, all because I wanted my room to smell better. But you know what? It's kind of clever when you look at it from their perspective. Because in the race to reach their pension, they're taught to lock them up by any means necessary. And what's really scary, my situation was the best case scenario. After 7 o'clock, they let me and my roommate go. One night in jail is far from the worst case when dealing with men that wear the badge. Because if I showed aggression while getting arrested, my name could be another hashtag. And that's my piece.
That was such an amazing poem. You should put your favorite line from the poem in the comments below and subscribe for more episodes.
What's going on, y'all? It's Gates the GOAT. I'm on top of my classes with countless classics influenced by Cadillac contrasts. I'm on your asses, no ass kiss, bitch, you're slower than molasses. Big Boy was probably in my auntie classes, and I say the South got something to say. And you're watching The Spotlight on Cluster TV, Cluster with a K.
You laid it out very well for us.
Goodness.
Yeah, indeed, a crazy story.
Y'all could tell, the flashbacks, how intense that story was, you know what I mean? But, yeah, true story, 100%. Pretty much exactly how I described it is how it played out that day.
Wow. Have you had any close encounters since then?
With the police, I've had a few encounters with them. Okay. None of them have been nearly as bad, or I haven't gotten arrested since then. What's ironic and I guess what's disheartening about that whole situation is that I've lived in Marietta, right? So a lot of my interaction with cops, they're just kind of like doing their own thing and whatnot. So before then, I really didn't, have any reason to have a negative connotation about the cops. Like, I was kind of a troll back in those days. So, anytime the cops came through, my classmates, they would say, yo, fuck 12. And I'd just be like, guys, we have to love 12, because if we show them love, they're going to stop harming us. Like, I was genuinely saying that. And then literally a year later, I ended up getting arrested. And the worst part is it was 2 black cops. I know.
That does make it like even worse.
Yes, but it did teach me a lesson. It was just like, you know what? My classmates, in a sense, they were definitely right.
Yeah.
Because even if they're black, they still wear the red, white, and blue. And, 12 is going to be 12 no matter what skin color they are. So just tread lightly around them. And when you're out there burning your incense, just don't do it in a dorm room.
Don't do it.
There's a lot of different ways you can make your room smell better if air freshener isn't working, but an incense might get you locked up. So just be careful out there.
That is crazy. Crazy.
Yeah. Shout out to Benedict College though. I still love my HBCU, but
I almost went there.
Oh, okay.
That's crazy.
Where'd you end up? Oh, you went to
I went to Jackson State.
Jackson State,
Yes.
and then Georgia State, right?
Then, we don't have to mention that. I went to Jackson State.
Okay, yeah. You're pretty much from Mississippi.
Yes, yes. It really made me. This isn't my interview. This is yours, though.
Oh, I'm doing it again.
No, because I was about to go on a tangent. I'm like, no. How do you feel Benedict, influenced you as the person you are now?
BC, man, let me tell you something. Benedict College was a really dope experience. I really got in touch with a lot of my black side at Benedict College. Okay. In Marietta, in general, granted, I did play on the football team, so I interacted with plenty of black people. But, honestly, like other than just like, interacting with a large group of black people, because that was a different experience than being in Marietta. I think, it helped me just be a lot more social, because in high school, I was definitely just kind of in my own bubble. And it was kind of weird because, my brother, he was definitely like, kind of the popular guy in high school. And a lot of people, when they interacted with me, they expected me to be just like my brother, but I was a lot more quiet and I really just kind of kept to myself. So people were kind of like disappointed when I wasn't like him, which kind of in turn just made me be more like, by myself. So once I got to Benedict, there really wasn't any expectations or whatnot. And, I played in the band. So the marching band, it was a really fun time.
You went from football to band?
Yes, I did play in the band while playing football, but I didn't play marching band. I was only concert. But I joined the Benedict College Band of Distinction, the BCBOD. And it was a very excellent experience. Definitely, remember a lot of the great times that I've had with my friends. I crossed Phi Mu Alpha at Benedict College as well. It was just a really dope time, and it really just kind of brought me out of my shell. I got a lot of experiences that I otherwise wouldn't have had if I went to a PWI. I feel like if I did go to just a traditional type of school and not a HBCU, I might have just, remained the same type of person I am right now. Especially on the front of, just me interacting with people from the LGBTQ spectrum. Because before I went to Benedict, I had never really interacted with gay people at all. And what I found out was, gay people are just like me for real. Yeah. They just like different folks. Like, that's literally like the main difference.
They're just people.
And there was a lot of times where like, I would just be friends with somebody and then I would just find out, boyfriend. Interesting. Okay. Fair enough. I also found out that, me and lesbians, like, we kind of like this. Like,
I like it. Okay.
At least on the surface level.
In what way?
Oh, I don't know. I don't even know in what way. I just tend to vibe with them a lot. Okay. I'm not sure why I vibe with them.
I mean, lesbians are cool.
They cool as hell. And they chill. And I guess it's like when there's like no type of pressure or anything where when you kind of like go into a conversation with a woman and no matter what you do, there is like no chance of any sexual anything happening. It just kind of frees you up just to be chill. So I think that's really what it is. Like I could just go into those interactions and I'm just like, hey man, we just chilling.
Yes.
And hey, I guess they allow me to be in touch with my feminine side a bit more as well because they are women,
I like that.
But that's really the biggest impact Benedict had on me. It brought me around a lot of different people that I wasn't used to being around growing up. And it's the main reason why I feel like I am who I am today.
Okay. Did you find your love for broadcasting and hosting at Benedict?
I definitely did. I think his name is Dr. Pollock. Okay. And he gave me voice lessons. So sophomore year, I wanted to be a color commentator, and we would just go out, like we had to walk pretty far off the campus to have like independent voice lessons. Okay. So he could kind of teach us how to like say onomatopoeias in a certain way without stumbling on your words, how to pronunciate clearly and pronunciate with excitement too, because you got to be excited when you're broadcasting sports, especially like volleyball and whatnot. Even if I don't know what it is, I have to be into it and I have to have that excitement into it as well, but also be able to talk clearly enough to be able to convey the rules and what's going on in the game too. So I think Benedict definitely gave me a lot of the toolkit that I use to this day. Mass communications, it kind of taught us like just a little bit of everything, like a little bit of Photoshop, a little bit of behind the camera, in front of the camera, in front of a mic. So the Benedict College mass communications, that major definitely did kind of give me a head start into what I'm doing right now.
I like that. You're an amazing person.
Oh, thank you.
Would you like to leave the people with anything?
Oh, okay. So the reason why I am, and I don't think I properly introduced myself. My name is Jerome Boateng. You guys can call me the bus driver. And the reason why I am the bus driver is because rule number 1 for the ride of your life, you are the driver of your bus. So I do appreciate you guys for parking your bus and stopping it to watch the spotlight, whether you're on Cluster TV, whether you're on YouTube. Thank you so much for watching. And I appreciate you for bringing your bus down over here to conduct this interview. But
thank you.
Yeah, but you're the driver of your life. So make sure you're driving with intention. That's really what I want to teach you guys. That's rule number 1.
Mm-hmm. I like that.
Are we already done?
Awareness. Yeah.
Dang, I could go on. You want
I know.
to do 30 more minutes? Let's add on the time.
Say we could. We could do it.
But nah, we should go ahead and end it here. If you want to find me, you can find me at Boateng, the bus driver. That's Boateng, the bus driver. Of course, you can follow the Spotlight at the Spotlight_poetry as well. That is, of course, you're watching here. This is the show that I host on a regular basis. But Dime, she's also came in and done a great job as hosting as well. So, that's where you can find me. I got YouTubes and stuff, but you can look on the Instagram to find all that. I'm not going to run down the whole list. That's... I don't know how to end these things.
That's okay. I don't either. But another person you can follow is Fawn Moore Photography, but it's Fawn Moore on Instagram. He has been doing all of the photography for the Spotlight, making us look good, catching all the people. If you want to be caught on camera, check out Fawn Moore on Instagram. What's your last piece going to be?
I think you know what my last piece is going to be. I'm going to teach y'all about rule number 2 of the ride of your life.
You got rule number 1. You're getting rule number 2.
Yes.
I'm ready.
All right, let's get it.
You're ready.
Whew. Fruits of this labor, gonna always be the sweetest. Doing big things, now the whole family eating. Bus driver moving fast, plowing through these obstacles. Life ain't always perfect, but I do just what I gotta do. Swerving through the lanes, ducking lames, no pressure. My swag is ever present without trying. No effort, no blurring my vision. I'm a student, always listening. Wipe away the issues cause my windshield gotta glisten. All gas, no brakes, I always keep it moving. Never slowing down to reach the goals that I'm pursuing. Yes, Lord, never rewind, I press forward. Always pushing P and it's hard to ignore it. If life is a game, I ain't coming in last. So I keep hustling hard cause it moves too fast. But I enjoy it. Always smell the roses in my garden. Expressing gratitude so my soul doesn't harden. Keep my loved ones close cause they give me motivation. There will never be a day where I don't show appreciation. When you keep your why in mind, it's only a matter of time before you reach the golden destination. Never keep your focus on the people always hating. Focus on yourself. Continue to keep creating a path for your life on the road to success. Always remain humble and you're gonna stay blessed. 10x your goals. Never settle for less. Second place ain't an option. I'ma strive to be the best. Desire, vision, and focus will keep your bus in motion. And doing work in silence makes your energy potent. You can't change the past. The future is a mystery. So give 100 in the present and you'll make history. And don't switch up your morals and remain true to you. And to elevate your life, follow rule number 2. And rule number 2 for the ride of your life: desire, vision, and focus. Move your bus in the right direction. And that's my piece.
Yeah. Amazing. Amazing. That has been another episode of The Spotlight. I'm Dime. Jerome is amazing. Until the next time, don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, do all of the things that you can. Hit the bell notification so you know when things are coming.
Yeah, where can people find you as well?
Oh, you can find me on Instagram at BigDaddyDime_. And I also have YouTube, so you can find me there. What is it? Being Dime. Cause I just be being me. Yeah.
She be podding too. She just dropped a new episode of Becoming Great.
Lord.
Check that out. It's
I
on
do,
YouTube.
sometimes.
Armando, he just like me for real. I just peeped that.
No, Loki, I really did love that interview. Life is crazy. Yes.
We can go
Did you
ahead
wanna
and
say
sign
something
off.
else?
No,
Okay.
we can. We
I
can
was
go
like, I don't know what else to say.
We can go ahead and sign off this thing. But
Goodbye.
I appreciate you guys for sticking through with us. We're gonna be back on another Thursday. Yeah. I guess host Jerome just eventually just took over a little bit.
It's okay.
You know. But yeah, great
Alright.
job, Don.
Good job to you.
And I hope you guys have a great one. Peace.
Goodbye. Be great.
I simply do not have the capacity to walk around life on eggshells. I deserve to take up space.
Walking so confidently and bold, a warrior slaying dragons and control her demons on an infinite journey with harsh losses and painful earnings. This bizarre adventure with JoJo's words, and I stand effortlessly.
If my confidence, me walking in who I am, upsets someone else, that is a them problem. But I keep ascending in love with myself. I can't explain it. It's one of the best feelings. It's one of the best feelings in the world. It's like a breath of fresh air.
I say trash ass niggas, but what were the trashy parts of me that allowed me to collect their waste and waste my time? I dealt myself a shitty hand, shuffling back like it's 16 all over again, constantly fighting to defend these boundaries and standards. This yellow skin turned red from draw tools on my character. Reverse conflict back to me like I'm green, just stacking and stacking till I sing blues. Nah, new game house rules, skip the bullshit, draw 4, horseman gone wild, card in my favor, you acting like I ain't the one, so Uno, out.
I know, right? Those pop-ups have been all day long. Like,
Gosh darn pop-ups.
Okay, hold on.
No, we're all good. We're all good.
Oh, you found OBS?
Yeah, I have OBS. I
Okay.
just can't get past the crazy amount of pop-ups to close it out.
Yeah, shout out to Cluster though. You know, if you're watching on Cluster TV, this is the behind the scenes type joint.
Jesus.
Yeah.
It's something.
Oh, yeah. Never mind. Hold on. Let me go ahead and make sure I turned off the stuff real quick. Before I tell y'all.
Door. There we go. All right, we're good.
Okay.
Thank you for tuning in to this episode of The Spotlight. If you would like to catch up on the back catalog, here is a playlist for you somewhere on the screen. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and share this video with somebody else. And tune in next time for our next episode.